You're listening to Fit Talk with Coach Luis. This is a special segment we call the Monday Morning Brew. The Monday Morning Brew.
Welcome back, everybody. I am Luis.
And I'm Ashley!
Yay!
Yay!
Well, today, guys, I hope you all had an awesome week. We already gone through week 1 of our SMART goal fitness journey. Whoever's kicked off with that, you heard everything from last week, the week prior to, and now we're in week 2. So if you made it through week 1,
Yeah,
I know, isn't that crazy?
it's crazy.
This month is flying by.
It really is. And usually, like, January always feels like the longest month of the year.
It's so true. And I'm just like, I can't, yeah, we're already halfway through basically the month already.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's nuts. But yeah, whether you crushed it or you stumbled on your way through your week 1, kicking off week 2, we are super proud of you. Just
So
remember,
proud.
guys, yeah, week 1 is just about showing up. Week 2 is about strengthening your streak. Yeah, so this is the week where excitement fades and routine begins. And that's not a bad thing. That's just where real change happens. So today, we're going to talk about how to stay consistent. We're going to talk about how to stay accountable and how to keep your goals feeling doable instead of overwhelming, which is I think is really
Mm-hmm.
important. Yeah, cuz
Yes.
yeah, cuz we don't want to feel overwhelmed with something that we're trying to do that's supposed to make us feel better because it kind
Yeah.
of defeats the whole purpose. So, you know, we want to
Well,
just go ahead.
I mean, like, overwhelming this early in the game, you tend to not want to finish. So we
Yeah.
definitely don't want it to be overwhelming.
Yeah, and that's so true, and that's what we'll talk. There's so many things we'll touch a little bit of points on today, and we'll talk about like we'll kick off with what makes week 2 a little bit different. So remember, week 1 is fueled on motivation, right? Because we're like, all right, we got this. We're gonna kick off. The gym's gonna be packed to where we can't even see the floor. That's usually very, very packed. Um,
Yes.
you know, and which is it's great. It's good. Let's go. Let's get it done. That's that motivation because it's the week 1. Week 2 is fueled by commitment. This is the week where our brain starts literally negotiating with us. It's
Oh,
like,
yes.
yeah, it's like, do I really need to work out today? Or, we have all those things like, oh, I'm really tired. I'll just start again tomorrow. Or, and I will say I'm very guilty of this one. One missed day won't hurt.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time. I'm like,
It's fine. I'll start
really
again
bad habit.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show that those thoughts are completely normal.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that we're failing. It just means that we're human, and being human is hard. So,
Yep.
week 2, yeah, that's where we learn in week 2 to show up even when the spark isn't as bright. Remember, not perfectly, not intensely, just consistently. And that's what we want
Heck
to
yeah.
really kind of kick off with.
Yeah. Well, before we go any further, I'd like to revisit our SMART fitness goals
Yeah.
that we talked about last week. Because so SMART, if you remember, means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and of course, time bound. So your week 1 goal might have been something along the lines of I'll walk 15 minutes 3 times a week. Now, though, in week 2, you're not necessarily increasing the difficulty, you're increasing the consistency of it.
Yeah.
So that means that your week 2 SMART goal might look more like for the next 7 days, I'll complete 3 intentional movement sessions for at least 15 minutes. So you're keeping that 15-minute time frame basically. So same structure, same clarity, but now you're building a streak.
Yep. And I love that. And that's really what it takes is that consistency. That's always going to be the goal is consistency always.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I
Consistency is, I mean, they're right when they say consistency is key. Because, I mean, going to the gym and you just have this humongous goal of, oh, I'm going to work out for an hour at the gym and I'm going to I'm going to do all of these movements. I mean, that gets exhausting. And then especially when you're not used to that level of, fitness,
Yep.
it gets exhausting quick and you tend to get burned out and like we were saying earlier, overwhelmed.
Yeah,
So,
100%. And that's where that's why I would love to take a pause for a moment and do a quick check-in. So, I would love for everyone to think of how are you feeling right now,
Mhm.
and not how you think you should feel, but how you actually feel. And like think, are you actually energized? Are you a little tired? Or are you proud? Or are you frustrated? Or maybe somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Whichever one that is that you're feeling, it's 100% valid.
Oh my
Week
gosh, so
two,
valid.
yeah, week two is where the emotional side of that habit building starts showing up. And acknowledging your feelings is part of the process. So don't, kind of set them aside and put them away and kind of fight them. Acknowledge them and,
Yeah.
take a breath and just tell yourself that you're doing so much better than you think. It is all about showing up, and that's what it's about. And then also, again, acknowledge those feelings, guys.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you're you're basically changing your habits. And it takes time for your body to actually kind of fall in sync with those habits. So building that consistency little by little is usually the best way. I feel like it is. You're
100,
you're more
100%.
apt to build and finish your goals if if you start out small and kind of do
Yeah,
small little steps.
100%.
And, and understand if you're feeling great, if you're not, kind of all of that. So,
You're 100% right. And that's one of the things that we always love to talk about when we're talking with people, helping them through their fitness journey,
hmm
is that thing is specifically is how are you feeling with how your plan has gone this month, and are you if you got to that point where it's you're like, wow, this was just a little too much, then that is 100% fine. I always tell them, don't tell me what you think I want to hear. Tell me what you're
right.
really feeling, because that's the only way we're going to move forward. If you tell me, oh, I feel fantastic, I feel great, everything's good, everything's fine, but you're struggle busting it, then you're not going to progress. And that's just
Yeah.
our nervous system. It's overloaded. It needs a break. It
hmm
needs a little bit of a step back, and that is fine. That's why it's just think of 1% better every day. That is going to
Yeah.
be the best way to move forward.
And in those cases, it's not bad to say, okay, hey, maybe I kind of overdid it this week. This was a really, really like tough for me. So I think I'm going to dial it back a little bit, instead of,
Hmm.
I can't do an hour at the gym or I can't go and do this for 30 minutes. Okay, this week I'm going to at least try and do 15 minutes. If I can do 15 minutes each
Hmm.
time, and we'll see how that goes. Like it's all
Yeah,
about trying to find what works best for you in your lifestyle, in your body, in helping in those little steps.
100%. And that's why we're always doing these small goals, because life changes. Life happens on the way to our plans all the time. So it's like, all right,
Yeah.
cool. You know what? I really thought I was going to be able to do this, but it was way too aggressive. All right, cool. I learned, and I'm going to just
Mhm.
kind of like reset and just take a different approach. But you're not
Right.
quitting.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like it's important to revisit that too, because it's an important topic that also is about accountability, not
Yeah.
for yourself, but also like, having somebody in your life that, helps keep you accountable.
Yeah.
And the type of accountability that we should surround ourselves with should be the supportive kind and not a punishing type. So even if you're like yourself, you don't want to
Yeah.
punish yourself. You just want to take a step back and you just kind of be like, well, what's going to work better? Because obviously this past week, this didn't work out.
100%.
Um, so here are 4 ways to stay accountable in week two, like we mentioned in week one. One being pick an accountability partner who roots for you, not someone who pressures you. Um,
Yeah.
I love that in a sense that, someone who says, "How can I support you today?"
Hmm.
versus, me feeling like I have to do this. I'm going to burn out a lot quicker than if I have somebody who's like, "Hey, how are you feeling today? Why don't we do this?" And, and it's here to help support me in
Yep.
my journey.
100%. I totally agree
Yeah.
with that. It's it's also that part of we don't want to associate our fitness journey and wherever it is we choose to exercise. We don't want to start correlating that with negativity, because then
Oh yeah. Well, and
we'll just won't show up.
yeah, oh, absolutely not. Not as much as a, oh, I have to work out today and it's a punishment, but more along the lines of, oh, I get to work out today. This is going to be great.
Yep.
So, but also too, tracking your wins visually, which
Hmm.
I love. I am
Yeah.
such a visual person.
Same.
So, and like we talked about last week, you've got a calendar or your notes app, a whiteboard, or even a sticky note that you stick on your mirror because that's, you brush your teeth every morning, you see that sticky note.
Yeah.
But seeing your progress, it's going to help you build momentum. It's going to show you that, hey, these are starting to happen.
It's
So
true.
it makes it nice, being
And
able to see that.
yep. I
So,
love
and then
that.
of course, our favorite, celebrating those micro wins.
Yup.
I love that. So if you planned 15 minutes, but let's say you only did 8, it's still a win
It
because you
is.
still showed up and you still honored your goal in the way that you were able to make it happen.
Yep. I really like that
So
one so much.
I
It's
know.
it takes out that mentality of, well, I'm not gonna do the 45 minutes I planned, so I'm not gonna do anything. And I know we talked about
Hmm.
that before, but it's so important to bring that point up again. That's not going to help us in any way whatsoever.
Yeah, but I mean, like and it kind of like goes into 4, you adjusted instead of abandoning. You adjusted, so you couldn't do 15 minutes because let's just say your schedule wouldn't allow. You were able to do 8. You adjusted, and that is a huge win. I don't even think that that's a micro win. I think that's a huge win because you still showed up and you still did what you said you were going to do. But adjusting instead of abandoning, I mean, if your goals feel too big, shrink them. If it feels too small, grow it. And of course, adjusting is not quitting, it's strategizing and pivoting. Accountability should feel like a partnership and not the pressure to, oh, I have to get this done today.
Yeah,
So, what
yeah,
I think is awesome.
it really is. And that's a cool thing about it, that it's not set in stone. These are your goals you created, so you have the power to change them whenever you need to change them. And it's
Hmm.
better to do a little bit of something than a whole lot of nothing. So just
Yeah,
make
yeah.
those little changes as you need to make them, and just move consistently.
Be
That is the
proud of
bit.
yourself.
Yeah,
I mean, that is a huge thing. Like, we get so judgmental of ourselves, I think,
I know.
um, and hold ourselves to these, sometimes like we can't hit these standards.
Yep.
And I mean, I know I have a really bad habit of doing it to myself, like thinking that I have to be, I have to hit the standard on every level. But at the end of the day, if you can only do 15 minutes instead of 30, or you can only do 8 instead of 15 minutes, you still did it. And that right
Exactly.
there, you should be super proud of yourself because you could have just been like, I'll do this later or maybe next time, but you didn't. You still held yourself accountable. You still
Hmm.
went and did it no matter what the time frame was.
Right.
And that to me is just huge.
I mean, how many times haven't we swapped out is exactly that, where it's like, man, we really wanted to go to the gym, but it's a little later, but we still want to do some movement. All right, we'll do a walk,
Yeah.
or something
Mhm.
different. It doesn't matter. It's at least you still did something for your health versus,
Mhm.
well, I can't go to the gym, so I guess I won't do anything and just sit down and watch TV. That's the part where it's like, that's not helping anybody. So, so absolutely. And that's where the accountability does feel like more of a partnership. And there's also that accountability partner that will push you, but in a positive way. And that's super important. That's the
Yeah.
key too, where it goes back to, you're not being pressured in a negative way where like, all right, we're gonna go to the gym. It's like, okay, cool. Or what are you doing? Why aren't you ready? We're leaving in 2 minutes or something, like, like that type of, like, wow, that's
Mhm.
rude. So that would
Yeah.
never ever want anyone to go anywhere. I mean, honestly, anywhere probably at all with that person. But
Well, I think you need to know yourself and what type of person and motivation that you need. Because
mm,
I've met, I mean, so my obviously you can tell my biggest thing is I go to the gym. I have a bunch of stuff in my, in my garage with, I have the weights and the dumbbells and all of that stuff. But my motivation is if I have a gym membership that I'm paying for, and then I'm more apt to go to the gym because when I get home, I have just a ton of stuff to do, with
yep,
whether it's, doing something for my daughter, or I need to do laundry, or I need to do dishes. And my focus gets put in a million other ways.
for
So I
sure.
know I reference the gym quite a bit because that to me is what's going to hold me accountable by like, well, I'm not going to pay for a gym membership and never go
Yeah,
because to
for
me
sure.
that's like I'm wasting my money. I'm not going to do
Sure.
that. And being a single mom, I budget everything. So in this case, I think when you have somebody who's there to help you and hold you accountable, you have to tell them like, hey, I need somebody that's going to be a little bit more assertive. Like, hey, what's your schedule look like this week? Okay, we're going to go to the gym this day, this day, this day, and I'm going to be there at this time, but you need to let me know if this is. Or the more passive person who's like, "Hey, why don't we go do this?" Or, "Hey, okay, let's do this." But, I think knowing yourself and how to help you get out of, I don't want to say bad habits, but out of those bad habits of, you
Yeah.
know, just I'll do it next time. Like you are great because I'd get home from work and you'd be like, "How are you feeling today? We're gonna go to the gym." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want to, but let's go." And
As
you're
I'm
like,
as
"Good, I'm
I'm
already
mixing
making your
as I mix the pre-workout.
yeah, I'm already making your pre-workout." Like, okay.
Perfect. I'm like, hey, you want
Yeah.
to go to the gym today? As I'm shaking it, and it's like, dang it,
Yeah.
I have to.
Like, dang it. Okay, yep, we're going.
But
But then it goes back to before where it's like, I've never left the gym going, gosh, I really wish I didn't go.
right.
I'm usually like, thank you so much for talking me into the gym.
But it's
So,
and it's those little positive nudges, because
yes.
too, if you weren't feeling it, then I wouldn't be like, oh, whatever, you suck, whatever. And then I mean, I would probably still go anyways because it's happened before, and I'd be like, all right, cool. If
Mhm.
you don't want the no worries, I get it. And then I would go. But usually it'd be like, actually, and it's actually happened to both of us where you did, and I really wasn't in the mood to do the workout, so I was like, I'll just get on the treadmill or something, and then it's like, oh, cool, that works, and then we're like, cool, all right, cool, we did something, we still went, and then you get the great
Mhm.
sauna afterwards, and it's true, you just feel
Yeah.
so good because you're like, man, we made it, and it was a little
Yeah.
later than we would have liked to, but we made it, and that's really what counts, I think, is that you still make it happen. And also very important thing that you brought up is having the gym set up at home. It could work for a lot of people because it does, but
Yep.
you're so right. There is a big the mental focus changes when you get home to, and that happens, that's, I'm very big with that too, where I get home and it's a different switch changed or something. It's like, oh, I have to do this, I gotta go outside, I gotta clean this, I gotta do this, like all the chores list
Mhm.
starts piling
Yep.
up. That's why, to me, I'm like, I need to go somewhere where I
Yes.
don't have that temptation of all that other adulting chores that need to get done.
Yeah.
And that's what helps a lot. Like, and I work from home, so I'm literally 24/7 locked up indoors, and I'm like, I am dying to get
Yeah.
outside.
Oh, I know. I
So,
can't tell you how
um,
many times I've come home and I'm
I'm,
like, I don't really want to do anything. You're like, well, I want to leave.
yeah, like I at least need to go outside and look at the world, you know?
Yeah, like I've been cooped up inside all day.
And then some days it's so bad because it's like just a full packed day to where I don't
Yeah.
even have a second to even walk outside to get some fresh air. And then those are the days where I'm just like, oof, I mentally need to leave the house, even if it's just to walk around the block. I'm like that dog when people get home with dogs, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, let's go outside. That's me. So
Yeah.
that's and that's where I think it's so important. If that's what works for you, in general, if that's what works for you, is going somewhere to be like, hey, I'm going out to the gym, I'm going here. That's where I'm getting my workout done. To where you can disassociate yourself with all the other things, then do it. You know, figure out how that works for you, how you can make it happen, and do it because it is very important. And then you can come back and then get back to the mindset of, all right, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna get back to my routine of whatever adulting and so on. But
Hmm.
with that, I'm going to give you guys a challenge. So, this is our week 2 challenge. So, it is called the 3 for 5 fitness streak. So, what is entailed is for the next 5 days, complete any 3 fitness actions from the list. The list is a 15-minute walk, a 10-minute stretch session, a beginner workout video, drinking an extra bottle of water, a 5-minute breathing or mindfulness break, or maybe you want to do some more nutrition as well. So tracking your meals or tracking your movement, doing 20 squats, 20 wall push-ups, or 20 calf raises. Mix and match them. Just choose what fits your day because the goal is consistency, not intensity. And it works because this helps build confidence. It strengthens our habit loop. It reduces the all or nothing mindset, which I think is really important to change that mindset, that all or nothing. It's, if again, is that whole thing, I didn't get to do 45 minutes, so I'm not going to do anything. No,
Right.
do little things that you can do throughout the day, move throughout the day. This
Hmm.
also helps keep fitness doable. So that's it. 3 wins in 5 days. That's your streak. So this will be posted in the description of the podcast, of course, but it'll also be
Hmm.
on our social media. So tag
Yeah.
us at Live to Progress and use the hashtag 3for5fitness or hashtag Live to Progress. And that way we can all follow along, get some camaraderie going, get some people, like minded people going. If you don't have a goal and this is something that you want to try out, give it a shot. I think it'll be really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it'll be fun. We'll be trying it too. I'll try out some of them, see how they work, because I know when I'm stuck in the house all day, I need to do those things. Like I use my desk raises, so I get to stand in front of it, and I can do those things in between some appointments. 20 squats, 20 wall push-ups, 20 calf raises. I can do those right there. So
Yeah.
little things like that, and that'll just help so much with consistency and just being moving throughout the day. So I also want to do something that we did last time, which was the quick guided reflection that we did. So
Oh
I want
yeah,
to
I
do
remember.
that real quick. Yeah, I think it's nice to kind of do these at least for this month segment of SMART goals.
Hmm.
All right, so again, if you're driving, don't close your eyes. All right, so take a breath with me and think about your week 2 goal. And then ask yourself, why does this matter to me? How do I want to feel at the end of this week? What's one small action I can take today to support that feeling? And hold on to that answer. And that's your anchor for the week. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah. And just give those things a shot, guys.
Heck yeah. Well, and week two is where your fitness journey becomes real.
Mm-hmm.
Not because you're doing more, but because you're showing up with intention.
Yep.
So you're building that consistency. So remember, you don't need perfection. You don't need to be like crazy, like intense workouts. So you don't need intensity. You just need consistency. 3 wins in 5 days, a little movement, a little accountability, and a whole lot of self-compassion.
I know. I love that. I think it's so important to just be kind to ourselves. Like
Yeah. Oh,
give
yeah.
ourselves grace. It's doing these goals that we set. They're not easy. We're changing our body to do things, something that's new. We're literally trying to teach our body something new to do. So that's not going to be easy. So just give yourself grace, guys. And if this episode helped you guys, share it with someone who's working on their goals too. And also get ready, because week 3 is where we upgrade your consistency even more. But
Woo!
that's all we got for today. So as always, thank you, thank you, thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. Hopefully you did it
Yes.
in the morning while you're driving to work, so it made work a little bit smoother. Or you're sipping on your marinated bean water. But whatever
Yeah.
you choose, whatever you choose to do while you're listening, just remember to choose to be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. We need it
Mhm.
now more than ever. Be
Yes.
helpful, be useful, and always be yourself. Unless you can be Batman. If you can be Batman, always be Batman. But seriously, above all change, above everything, guys, be the change that you want to see in the world. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for checking out Fit Talk with Coach Luis. Remember to follow us on social media on Instagram at Live to Progress and on Twitter at Live2Progress. Stay tuned for more episodes of Fit Talk with Coach Luis coming soon. And remember, always live to progress.